Today I'd like to share a memory with you about a woman that created a real scandal. And we're talking a scandal when scandals truly were that word. She was the lady allegedly who brought down the British government at the start of the 1960s. Who are we talking about? Christine Keeler. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Hope you're keeping well. Thank you for joining me today. And for those that do like these short history sort of memories about the people that I've met, I'm happy to share them. If you don't, truly skip along and find something else that you like. But it is nice to sort of share with people some of the people that I've been lucky enough to meet. And some of the times, I have to tell you, it's by simple fluke, When you work in a news channel, as I've done most of my career, then you do get to meet people sometimes that you would never cross paths with because they've been invited onto somebody's show, they're in the news, and you suddenly walk into the green room and there you are faced with people like Priscilla Presley or other famous people like that you never thought, I'll meet that person. That's the beauty of this job. It is one of the rare treats of this particular job, let me tell you. But Christine Keeler, let me tell you how I met her. An incredible lady, I felt, and much maligned in many respects because she never really recovered from that thing. And that thing, of course, was the Perfumo scandal. Now, if you don't know this particular British scandal, it happened at the start of the 1960s. Now, Christine Keeler was, well, shall we say, for want of a better word, a dancer. And it was in a particular nightclub that certain people popped along. There was a famous doctor who also treated His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh, and it is said on occasions Her Majesty the Queen. He was called Stephen Ward and he was an osteopath. She became friendly with him, and through him and his high connections she met many famous people. Now, what was interesting with Christine, by the time I'd met her, she was coming into the Sky News studios in Millbank, and we were doing an interview for a book show that I was hosting at that time. She'd had many books written about her, and of course she'd had that famous film Scandal with Joanna Whalley Kilmer in it, doing an excellent job, in fact, in portraying her. She wasn't too keen on that particular film, even though she was invited, of course, to be part of it. What was interesting with Christine's story was, as she openly said, she could never truly escape the problems that really happened, because what truly happened was, well, one of the biggest scandals to rock the government in decades. As Christine became more and more involved with Stephen Ward, alongside her good friend Mandy Davis, who I also met, tell you about that in a moment, their worlds really collided because they were girls really from a simple background who ended up mixing and meeting with some of the most powerful people on the planet at that time, including allegedly Russian spies and seriously top members of the British Parliament government. Now, Christine herself said that she tried a lot of things to move her life on. In fact, she'd been offered the chance to become an actress, to train for that. She tried as a nightclub singer, all manner of types of things to move her career and her life in a different direction. Now, while her pal Mandy Davis, who famously said that line in the British court when asked, well, who's telling the truth because one of you's lying? And she said, of course, well, he would say that, wouldn't he? That made her an international celebrity. Mandy was far cleverer, I felt, than Christine. I met Mandy Davis really thanks to Andrew Lloyd Webber. He'd produced a musical based on Stephen Ward's life, and she was invited to be part of that and was at the launch event and things like that. Mandy herself had a career which meant she married rich and, of course, made a lot of money by opening nightclubs around the world. As for Christine Keeler, as you see in this famous picture here, that pose with the black chair was one that would come back to haunt her. She also told me she didn't really get that much money for her story because a lot of people thought that she got thousands, but this was the early 60s. Well, it was a lot of money, and that was really the big start of tabloid newspapers like the News of the World. Christine was badly managed and didn't make that much. By the time I met her, as I say, she was launching yet another book about her take on the Perfumo scandal. What I did like about her was, though, she was ladylike, she was really nice and very warm and friendly, and didn't really mind asking questions about that particular era. What did make me smile was she said she was absolutely stunned when she bumped into the Beatles at a premiere. Oh yes, this is a new form of reality TV way back in the 1960s, and apparently they wanted their picture with her. But their manager at the time, Brian Epstein, said, oh, absolutely not. This woman's scandalous and it won't be good for your family public image. So that's the reason why you don't see that picture with Christine Keeler. It's interesting to note, isn't it, that sadly we lost her a few years ago, and I think her story has never really been totally refreshed. There are plans apparently to turn that back into another TV drama. Quite where they can go with that without the main player advising what truly went on remains to be seen. But as I say, when you meet these people that have created a worldwide storm, a scandal all around the world, sometimes you truly do have to pinch yourself. I, for one, as I say, was very happy to meet both Christine Keeler and Mandy Rice-Davies. For me, they truly were girl power in an era when girl power wasn't truly invented. Neil Sean in the heart of London.